everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Under Adria's Wings Life After Loss. So, the last couple of episodes, I was talking about what grief is and what it may look like in children. And so, this episode, I want to talk about purpose in your pain. I came across a post on Instagram and it just resonated with me so much, and I just felt that I wanted to start this episode off with what it was, and then sort of unpack it and just talk about how to find your purpose in your pain. So in this post, it was a picture from a book, and the name of the book is called It's Okay If You're Not Okay by Megan Devine. And it says, "Here's what I most want you to know. This really is as bad as you think. No matter what anyone else says, this sucks. What has happened cannot be made right. What is lost cannot be restored. There is no beauty here inside this central fact. Acknowledgement is everything. You're in pain. It can't be made better. The reality of grief is far different from what others see from the outside. There is pain in this world that you can't be cheered out of. You don't need solutions. You don't need to move on from your grief. You need someone to see your grief, to acknowledge it. You need someone to hold your hands while you stand there in blinking horror, staring at the hole that was your life. Some things cannot be fixed, they can only be carried. Now, when I was reading this, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is the rawest truth I have ever read or heard." And it's reality. It may sound like, "Oh my gosh, like that's so harsh or whatnot," but it's the reality of it. It is grief is not a walk in the park. It's not. It's not something that you can get rid of, like she said, that you can move on from. And I believe I stated in the first episode, it's something that you learn to cope with, that you learn to live life with because it's not going anywhere. So the acknowledgement of it is everything. Like she said in this on this first page of the book, you have to acknowledge that you're hurting, that you're in pain, that you are grieving. And once you come to terms with that, then the healing can begin. Then the whatever else needs to happen to help you get by day can begin. And I remember when my mom first passed away, and one of my friends, her mom had passed away maybe a few years prior. So she told me, she was like, "Siobhan, it does not get easy with time. As time goes on, it's gonna get worse." And I remember sitting there thinking, like, why would she tell me that? Like, because everybody else was telling me, "Oh, it's gonna be okay. Oh, your mom is in a better place, or your brother is in a better place. Time heals all wounds." I was hearing all the good stuff about it. So hearing her telling me it does not get better with time was like, why would you tell me that? Like, what? I was not used to that. It was like, why? Like, why would you say that? And it sort of hurt my feelings in the moment. But then I realized, well, hey, she knows. She lost her mom too. I'm pretty sure she knows, how it is. And I remember to this day actually, but I remember years later when I realized that I was grieving, that, hey man, she was so right. She was so right. It does not for for people get better with time, because for me, and probably for her is why she said it, is because as time goes on, like, reality sinks in, like, man, this person really is not coming back. They're really gone. And as another birthday goes by, as another holiday goes by, the reality sinks in deeper and deeper and deeper every single time. And you're like, man, this really is life. But what I do want to say is, because I don't want to make it like it's just this bad thing that you would never get over, because there is light. Like, I found my light during on this journey. And that's why the name of this episode is, finding your purpose in pain, because that is what I found on going through this. Um I've realized that my purpose now is to help children cope with grief. Well, anyone for that matter. Help anyone that I can be able to cope with grief and recognize the signs of it. Because it was a few years after my mom passed that I realized that I wasn't allowing myself to grieve. And it took for me going into this dark place, this dark period in my life, and coming out of it and realizing that, man, I was really just around here existing, not living, just like on autopilot, y'all. Just like, people ask me, how have I been able to just deal with life and get through losing my mom and my brother 18 months apart? And I was like, man, it was just God. God kept me through those years, and He's still keeping me. But when I came out of that place and when I saw the light, so to say, that's when I found my purpose. That's when I found my passion. And that's when I knew that I wanted to help as many children as I possibly can to get through this grief journey. Because I was like, man, if I'm an adult and I was that lost and I was just out here, just existing, and just not knowing who I am, because a piece of me was gone. There was a huge void in my life. Man, I can only imagine what these kids are going through, because being a kid is already a lot. Um, when you're developing, you're trying to figure out who you are, what you want to do when you grow older. Um, Friends, you're trying to figure out just everything. You're trying to get the hang of this thing called life. And I know we do this, we continue with that as we get older, but as a kid, you're developing. You're going through all your developmental stages, and that's an essential part of your life, those developing years. And then like that, your parent is gone. The person who gave you life is gone, right? And what do you do? Like, you're already a kid. You don't really understand the process of emotions. There are some adults who still don't understand the process of emotions. So you don't know what to do. And you may feel alone. So when I came out of that dark period, it was like, I have to help children. I have to help these babies get through this and give them the push or the encouragement or the shoulder, the listening ear, whatever they may need to get through these essential years. I'm sorry, these essential years of their lives without having their parent with them. And I've been doing this. Well, I first started the organization back in 2013, and I relaunched it in last year. And but in the time period when I wasn't doing well, what I didn't have the organization, that passion, that fire never left my heart. So that's how I knew that this is what I should be doing. This is it. Because grief is not something that gets talked about. Well, nowadays, with social media, it's becoming something that people talk about more and more. But just back in 2012 and 2013, when I had started doing research on how children grieve and different programs in the country who have resources just for kids who are grieving a parent, there was little to nothing really on that topic, just around kids who lost a parent, and that was just so shocking to me. I'm like, in this entire country, there's not more information or there's not more programs that can help kids who are going through this. And that's just when I also confirmation for me that Siobhan, you have to do this. Now there's a lot more programs that are out there, but it's still not as much as it should be, in my opinion. But I guess now, since the pandemic, more and more people are becoming more open to talking about what they're going through, because there a lot of people have lost loved ones during this time. So it's becoming sort of a thing that's on the scale now that people are starting to recognize. And I love it for that. I love the fact that social media is doing that right now. But we still have a long way to go. So this is why I'm doing this podcast. This is why I have the organization. This is why I becoming more vulnerable, becoming more transparent, because me doing this can help somebody else. And if it just helps one person, then I know that I'm doing the right thing. But I'm typically a private person, and I typically don't talk about a lot of things with a lot of people. So doing this right here is sort of out of my comfort zone, but it just feels so right. Because vulnerability is what is needed. And if I know that if I can share my story with other people and it gives them hope, the mission accomplished. But back to this page in the book, it was it was the truth. Truth hurts sometimes. And it says, like, you're in pain, it can't be made better. The reality of grief is far different from what others see from the outside. And that's the real deal. Like, what you're dealing with internally doesn't always reflect how you look externally, right? Because I know during that period, and even now, I know how to mask it, right? I know how to put on a smile and look like there is absolutely nothing going on. But on the inside, I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this, right? I can't be around these people, but I have to, right? I have to for whatever reason. So it looks different. And that's the scary part of it too, that people hide it so well, and you never know what somebody is going through until, in some cases, it may be too late or whatnot. I just don't want anybody to suffer in silence. And it may seem like I'm hopping subjects or whatnot, but it's just I just have to do my part to make sure that we're all good, you know. So if there's anybody who who's having a hard time with grief, who's having a hard time just processing what's going on in their lives, reach out to me. I mean, I'm on social media. You can reach out, DM me, and the Under Adria Wings social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram or whatnot. If you know a kid who's lost their parent, and this program could be beneficial to them, reach out to me. And I'm not saying I'm trying to save the entire world, but I'm just doing what I can with what God put into my heart. So whatever I can do to help others, I am going to do that, because I know that even though I went through the dark times, I went through the depressing period, I went through the the shame, the guilt, I went through all of that. Still go through it, but I'm still here. But I still found purpose. But I'm still here talking on this podcast, spilling my guts out and my life out. Like, some people, if they hear this, they'll probably be like, "Man, I didn't know Siobhan was going through this." but this is my purpose. And I wouldn't have found this purpose if I didn't endure the pain, if I didn't endure the huge loss, if I didn't have this void inside of me. I wouldn't have found this. And I find a peace in that. It is hard, but I find a peace in knowing that my pain is not in vain. My pain is going to help other people. And I am in such a good place right now that I'm ready. I'm ready to just do what I can, do my part with God. As long as, with God, God guiding me. So, like I said, if you need any assistance, if you feel as though you don't know how you're going to get out of bed, how you're going to go to work, how you're going to go to school, how you're going to just be, you are not alone. You are not alone. I've been there and I came through it. I look at me, listen to me, whatever, because you can't see me right now, but listen to me and know that you are not alone. Your brighter days are coming. It won't always be like this. I promise you, it won't. Okay, I'm getting full, so I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna stop it right there. Because I just feel in my spirit that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And I'm gonna drop these episodes every week. Keep with me on this journey, and then I promise you that you will get something out of it. If it's just one episode you get out of that resonates with you, you will get something out of it. So just keep pushing. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Understand that you're human. Understand that life won't always be like this. Find your peace. So I'll stop right there. And I want to just leave with this quote. The most painful part of your process will also produce the most power in your life. Your pain will either be your prison or your platform. It's your choice. And I chose that my pain would be my platform. And that's why I'm here now talking and being open and vulnerable about my journey. And I pray that you do the same. So that's it for this episode. Um, like I said, reach out to us on at Under Adria's Wings on Facebook and Instagram, or go to our website underadriaswings.com and reach out to us if you need our assistance. We're here. Thank you and have a blessed one. Talk to you next week.